The unlikely viewing. Far beyond the stars, in a galaxy where civilizations had long surpassed Earth's technological achievements, the Zorveki were known for their intelligence and curiosity. The Zorveki had explored many planets and cultures, but none like Earth. It wasn't the technology that interested them, nor the politics, but something far more strange: the media. The Zorveki had recently intercepted signals from Earth, and among the many odd broadcasts, one film had caught their attention. It was called Gremlins. The Zorveki were baffled. They had heard of Earth's movies, but they never fully understood their purpose. Still, curiosity won over, and one fateful evening, a group of Zorveki scientists and officers gathered in their ship's massive control room. They huddled in front of a holographic screen, ready to watch the human film that had been flagged by their intelligence officers. On the screen, a young man named Billy Peltzer appeared, followed by an adorable creature called Gizmo. The Zorveki stared at the small, furry creature with confusion. To them, Gizmo looked harmless, almost like an oversized pet. But as the movie unfolded, so did their questions. They couldn't understand the premise: how a small, cute creature could turn into a monstrous, destructive force. Zorvok, the commander of the mission, adjusted his position in front of the screen. "Explain," he muttered to one of his officers, who was responsible for analyzing human media. The officer, Zolthar, scratched his chin nervously. "Commander, according to the data, this film is about creatures that change when certain rules are broken. They multiply and become violent." Zorvok frowned. "Rules? How do these creatures become violent? What could have caused such a thing?" Zolthar ran his fingers across the console, pulling up more information. It said that the creature, Gizmo, must never be exposed to bright light, must not be fed after midnight, and must not be submerged in water. But when these rules are ignored, the creature multiplies and becomes dangerous. The entire room fell silent as they processed what they had just learned. The Zorveki's advanced minds were struggling to comprehend the simple, yet bizarre, nature of the film. To them, it seemed like a strange, random story with no real meaning. Why would a creature, seemingly harmless, turn into something so destructive? Zorvok's brow furrowed. This is not just a film. This message seems to be telling us something about Earth. Zolthar's eyes widened. A message? What if the Gremlins are not just creatures in the movie, but a representation of Earth's true nature? A species that starts out harmless, but when disturbed, becomes dangerous. The room was filled with murmurs. The idea took root quickly. The Zorveki were a logical race, and every piece of information they gathered had to fit into their understanding of the universe. The idea of these gremlins becoming violent when provoked seemed to fit with their theory of Earth as a wild, unpredictable planet, one that could pose a serious threat to the galaxy if left unchecked. Zorvok stood up, his eyes cold with thought. "We have underestimated Earth. This film is no mere entertainment. It is a warning. If Earth's creatures, humans, can create such a dangerous species, we must take immediate action." He turned to his officers. "Prepare for an immediate mission to Earth. We must investigate this planet before it becomes a greater threat than we thought." Zolthar's voice was filled with concern. "Commander, we do not know if Earth's creatures are truly like the Gremlins. This is just a film." Zorvok's gaze hardened. "No, it is not just a film. We cannot ignore the possibility that this is a reflection of Earth's nature. We will investigate further." As the Zorveki officers scrambled to prepare for their covert mission, the ship's holographic screen continued to display the chaos caused by the Gremlins. In the movie, the creatures rampaged through a small American town, causing destruction, fear, and mayhem. Buildings were torn apart, cars overturned, and the humans, though ultimately victorious, seemed completely overwhelmed by the creatures they had unknowingly unleashed. For the Zorveki, this was not just a simple movie. It was a glimpse into a potential reality. The idea that Earth had the power to create something so dangerous. even if it was just fiction, was unsettling. What if Earth was hiding something far worse than the Gremlins? What if humanity itself could be as unpredictable and destructive as the creatures in the film? With a deep breath, Zorvok gave the order. Prepare the cloaking technology. We are going to Earth. As the ship's engines hummed to life and its cloaking device activated, the Zorveki officers remained silent, each lost in thought. They were headed to a world they had only observed from afar, but now they would venture into the heart of Earth's chaos, uncertain of what they would find. Would Earth's humans be like the Gremlins, harmless at first, but capable of causing untold destruction when disturbed? Or was there something else on this planet that the Zorveki had missed? One thing was certain. The galaxy had never encountered anything like Earth, and the Zorveki were about to make an unexpected discovery. The first encounter. The Zorveki ship entered Earth's atmosphere unnoticed, its advanced cloaking technology keeping them hidden from human eyes. The sleek, metallic vessel hovered just above the clouds, observing the small blue planet below. Zorvok, still lost in thought about the implications of the Gremlins film, stood before the viewing panel. His sharp eyes scanned the Earth below, but his mind was focused on the mission. What would they find? Was Earth really as dangerous as the film suggested? "Commander, we are in position," Zolthar reported, his voice calm but filled with an undercurrent of excitement. Zorvok gave a curt nod. "Proceed with caution. We need to gather information without drawing attention." The ship descended slowly, staying well below the radar of any human detection systems. The Zorveki were experts in stealth, and they knew how to blend into their surroundings. But as they neared the ground, something unexpected caught Zorvok's eye. The land below them was unlike any other planet they had explored. Earth's landscapes were diverse. Lush forests, vast oceans, tall mountains, and sprawling cities. It was both beautiful and chaotic. There was a strange energy to the planet, one that resonated in ways Zorvok couldn't quite explain. But it wasn't the scenery that intrigued him. It was the noise. From the depths of space, Zorvok could hear it. Sounds, signals, transmissions that reached out like invisible threads from Earth. They weren't just static. They were clear, structured, and filled with energy. Zorvok's mind began to race. Were these signals another message, another clue? "Zolthar, what are those signals?" Zorvok demanded. Zolthar quickly adjusted the ship's equipment to analyze the transmissions. "They seem to be radio signals." "No, they are more than that. These are human communication signals, mostly coming from a place called Earth's Internet. It's all coming from something called social media." Zorvok was silent for a moment, processing the information. "Social media. What is that?" Zolthar did his best to explain in simple terms. "It seems like a platform where humans share their thoughts, ideas, and even entertainment with each other. There are billions of humans connected through these signals. They share stories, videos, and even music. It's a kind of mass communication." Zorvok's curiosity deepened. "Are these transmissions dangerous?" Zolthar hesitated. "Well, they are certainly powerful. Humans appear to be very connected to each other through these signals. It might not be dangerous in the way we expected, but it's certainly a force to be reckoned with." A thought crossed Zorvok's mind. Could this social media be part of the dangerous nature of Earth he had anticipated? If humans could create such a powerful system to communicate, to influence each other, then what other surprises could this planet hold? Zorvok glanced at the control panel, where the data about the Gremlins was still displayed. The film showed an ordinary American town, seemingly peaceful, until the Gremlins arrived. What if this was another layer to Earth's unpredictability? What if Earth's power lay not only in its potential for violence, but in the way its inhabitants communicated and shared ideas so widely? "Send a probe to the surface," Zorvok ordered. "I want to know more about this social media and how it might be connected to Earth's potential threats." Zolthar activated the ship's systems, and a small, stealthy drone was released from the Zorveki ship. It descended toward Earth's surface, its tiny size and advanced technology ensuring that it wouldn't be detected by human sensors. The probe hovered silently, gathering information as it moved toward one of the largest cities on Earth, New York City. As the drone entered the city's skies, it observed the vast network of humans interacting, recording, and sharing. The city was alive with activity, people glued to their devices, scrolling, chatting, and laughing. The streets were filled with human interactions that seemed both chaotic and organized at the same time. But it wasn't just the people on the ground who were connected. There was a deeper, more pervasive energy that flowed through the city. The data streams from the social media platforms were visible to the Zorveki drone, and they were overwhelming. Zorvok's mind raced. If this was how humans communicated, what could they do with this power? How could it be used to influence others, to control them? It was a form of manipulation, much like how the Gremlins were manipulated by their environment and the rules they followed. The Zorveki began to realize that Earth's true weapon might not be physical at all. It could be the collective power of human culture itself. Commander, Zolthar interrupted Zorvok's thoughts. I believe we have found something. Zorvok turned sharply. What is it? Zolthar pointed to the holographic display. The drone had accessed one of the most popular social media platforms on Earth, TikTok. Millions of humans were watching short, humorous videos, many of them centered around trends and viral content. But there was something strange. Amidst the funny clips, there were also videos of people discussing gremlins, videos that took the creatures from the film seriously. Some humans even speculated that Earth could be under attack from beings like the Gremlins. Others joked about the possibility of gremlins invading Earth. It was an odd mix of humor and fear, and it sent an unmistakable signal to the Zorveki. Earth's people weren't just influenced by external threats. They were constantly processing, reacting, and sharing these threats, making them even more powerful. Zorvok's eyes narrowed. The Zorveki had underestimated Earth. The true power of this planet wasn't in its weapons or creatures. It was in its people's ability to spread ideas, to shape perceptions, and to control the flow of information. The Gremlins had been a misunderstanding, but the true danger lay in the potential for Earth's communication networks to influence the galaxy. We must proceed carefully, Zorvok said, his voice cold and calculated. Earth's social networks are more dangerous than we thought. The viral spread. As the Zorveki ship silently hovered above Earth, the crew continued to study the data being sent from the drone. Zorvok's mind raced, his thoughts swirling around what they had discovered so far. The funny, harmless-looking videos humans uploaded, especially those about gremlins, had created more of a ripple effect than any of them could have anticipated. This seemingly harmless platform, TikTok, was spreading ideas at an exponential rate, influencing not just Earth's inhabitants, but also pulling in attention from the galaxy. Commander, Zolthar spoke up, breaking the silence in the command room. We've received an update from the probe. It seems the influence of Earth's culture is spreading rapidly. We've detected a significant increase in transmissions of viral content. Zorvok's eyebrows furrowed. What do you mean? Explain. Zolthar tapped a few buttons, bringing up a holographic display showing Earth's social media platforms. Thousands, then millions of humans were watching the same videos. It was no longer just Earth's population that was consuming this content. The algorithms of TikTok had already begun to pull in users from other planets. Some were laughing, others confused, but many were beginning to mimic Earth's behaviors. This is absurd, Zorvok muttered. How are they capable of spreading this so fast? It's only been a few days. Zolthar clicked through the data. The video about the Gremlins, in particular, has taken off. It's being shared at a rate we've never seen before. It's going viral across several worlds. The Zorveki Empire itself is being affected. I've already received reports of soldiers in our fleet reenacting parts of these videos. Zorvok slammed his fist onto the table, his frustration mounting. We underestimated them. I thought it would be something trivial, but this is a weapon of ideas. He paced the room, his mind turning as he tried to understand the scope of the situation. He had prepared for physical battles, clashing ships, advanced weaponry, powerful armies, but not for the weapon that was culture. The power of humor, of memes, of viral trends. It was contagious in a way he had never predicted. What if this is just the beginning? Zorvak wondered aloud, tapping his chin. What if the next phase is something far more dangerous? Could these videos, these ideas, be used to manipulate the minds of entire populations? Zulfar was already processing the new data. Commander, there's something strange about this Gremlins video. It's not just a simple viral trend. Some of the comments are strange. People are talking about how the Gremlins' actions mirror the chaotic behavior of certain alien species. They've started speculating that the Gremlins could be a metaphor for the way invading forces destroy civilizations. Zorvak stopped pacing. Are you saying that humans are preparing for an invasion just because of a movie? Zolthar nodded. Yes, it appears so. They're starting to connect the idea of the Gremlins to actual threats in space. Some are even claiming that certain species, such as the Zorvaki, could be the next targets. They're interpreting the movie as a warning. The realization hit Zorvak like a lightning bolt. Humans weren't just amusing themselves. They were preparing mentally for an invasion, and now they were doing it collectively. A single idea was being passed around, debated, and considered as fact. If Earth's social media was causing this much of a ripple across space, how could the Zorvaki stop it? This is more than just a misunderstanding, Zorvak said, his voice cold. It's a full-scale mental assault. They are already preparing, thinking about strategies, tactics, even imagining battles that haven't even occurred. And we. He stopped himself, his thoughts clouded with frustration. The Zorvaki had always been known for their strategic brilliance, their ability to dominate on the battlefield. But this was something they hadn't accounted for. Earth's ability to influence minds and spread thoughts like wildfire was something new entirely. He turned to his crew. We need to monitor every single video that humans are watching. This isn't just about Gremlins anymore. It's about how they're thinking, how their collective minds are evolving. This viral phenomenon could be Earth's real weapon. Zolthar nodded. I'll make the necessary adjustments to our systems and ensure that we track every social media platform. The spread of these ideas is growing faster than we can imagine. Good, Zorvak said, his eyes narrowing. And I want a detailed analysis of every trend, every meme, and every comment. We need to understand their thought patterns. We need to know how to stop them before it's too late. As the Zorvaki crew scrambled to gather more information, Zorvak's mind remained focused on one terrifying thought. If Earth could make an idea as simple as a movie go viral and spread across galaxies, what could they do with something truly dangerous? What if they turned their creativity towards something far darker? The Zorvaki had underestimated Earth's power. They thought they were just dealing with primitive creatures. But now, they realized that Earth's real strength wasn't in its weapons or its soldiers. It was in the minds of its people and their ability to spread ideas across space at an unimaginable speed. The global response. The realization of the Zorvaki Empire's vulnerability to Earth's viral influence spread like wildfire among the Empire's leaders. High-ranking officials convened in a dark, metallic war room aboard the flagship of their fleet. The holographic screens flickered, showing projections of Earth's social media networks, especially the viral video of Gremlins. The far-reaching influence of the internet, memes, and viral trends had never been more apparent. Zorvak, seated at the head of the table, stared coldly at the projections. He rubbed his temples in frustration. I was wrong, he muttered. This isn't just an accidental spread. This is strategic. The humans are weaponizing their culture. One of his most trusted advisors, Krulvar, an officer skilled in political analysis, spoke up. The humans are capable of much more than we gave them credit for. These viral videos, These memes, they're a form of psychological warfare. The Gremlins video is just the beginning. Other videos have started showing disturbing patterns. It's not just entertainment anymore. Explain, Zorvok commanded. Humans are starting to show strong resistance to any form of authority. We are seeing a growing number of memes mocking the very idea of military control, even depicting alien forces as weak, foolish, and laughable. Krelthar continued. They are spreading the idea that no matter how advanced an army is, it can be defeated with ingenuity, creativity, and perhaps the most dangerous thing, humor. Zorvok looked to the table in deep thought. The reality was sinking in. Earth wasn't just a world of primitive, defenseless creatures anymore. No. They had adapted to the very fabric of information warfare, blending humor and ideas with military tactics. Zolfar, the crew's communications officer, nervously tapped on his control panel and spoke up. Commander, we've intercepted more viral content. Some of the humans are beginning to turn the Gremlins video into their version of a war strategy. There are even theories being discussed about the importance of defeating invaders by overwhelming them with chaos. Chaos. Zorvok repeated. How can they possibly think chaos can defeat a fully organized empire? Zolthar turned to the holographic display, bringing up several human videos and posts. Watch, Commander. They're mocking their own military strategies with an idea called guerrilla warfare. Small, unpredictable actions that confuse and overwhelm an opponent. They believe it worked for them on their own world centuries ago. Now, they think it could work in space. And now, they have the ability to spread these ideas across the galaxy faster than we can deploy our forces. Zorvok stood up, his fist slamming down on the table. This is madness. How can we fight a war based on confusion and absurdity? His voice filled the room, the stress of the situation mounting. We must take control of their communications. If they keep spreading these ridiculous ideas, their influence will continue to grow. But Krelthar's eyes narrowed. The humans are already aware of us, Commander. The more we try to shut down their platforms, the more determined they will become. They've already started organizing on their own terms, creating resistance movements even within their own ranks. If we silence them, they will only find new ways to spread their messages, perhaps even with more resilience. Zorvok's chest tightened with growing anxiety. He had always known the Zorvaki to be a race of conquerors, able to overpower their enemies with brute force. But this new kind of warfare, the battle of ideas, was unlike anything he had ever faced. We have to act fast, Zorvok said with a sharp exhale. The longer we wait, the more their ideas take root. We must destroy their platforms, erase their memes, and disrupt their culture. We have a problem. Commander, Zolfar interrupted. The humans are unpredictable. Their very nature resists any form of control. The more we try to manipulate their content, the more we risk provoking them. We might even create more content that strengthens their resolve. Zorvok stood still for a moment, his thoughts churning. Then he spoke, a cold determination creeping into his voice. Then we must change the game. We cannot allow them to believe they are in control. We must make them see that their culture is weak and meaningless. We must turn their own memes against them, destroy their sense of humor, their creativity. A pause hung in the room as his crew exchanged uncertain glances. What do you mean? Krelthar asked carefully. We create our own viral content, Zorvok said, a slight grin forming on his face. We flood their networks with images and videos that mock their culture. If we make them laugh at their own weaknesses, we strip them of their morale. They are not invincible. We will show them that their creativity can be their undoing. Zolthar raised an eyebrow. But Commander, we are dealing with a species that is driven by humor. To truly defeat them, we must make them question their own reality. Zorvok turned, his cold eyes locking onto the projections of Earth. Then we will make them laugh at their own expense. We will break their spirit by making them question their own identity. They think they can use humor and chaos against us. Let's show them that it will be their downfall. The meme war begins. The battlefront had shifted, and for the first time in Zorvok's life, it wasn't fought with weapons or armies. This time, it was fought with creativity, culture, and humor. The Zorveki Empire had begun deploying its own viral content into Earth's social media networks. Their goal was simple: to make humanity question its own cultural foundation, to mock and ridicule the very things that had been empowering Earth's resistance. Zorvok sat in his command chair, watching the screens intently. His fleet was ready. This was no longer about brute force. His warriors, the greatest military minds in the galaxy, were now part of an entirely new battle, one that involved creating chaos within Earth's communication systems. If Earth's memes could spread ideas so quickly, then so could the Zorveki. Zolthar, standing beside him, reported the latest updates. "Commander, we have successfully launched our first viral video. It's a parody of their beloved Gremlins movie. Except, in our version, the Gremlins are portrayed as bumbling and weak aliens, utterly defeated by humans with basic tools. The video is gaining traction across Earth's platforms." Zorvok raised an eyebrow. "And the humans? What's their response?" Zolthar hesitated. "They are confused. But there's a significant rise in their defenses. Some of their influencers are already mocking the video, claiming that it's just a desperate move. It seems they have begun to laugh it off, calling it too alien to be funny." Zorvok growled in frustration. "This isn't working fast enough. If we let them laugh at us, it will only embolden them. We need to do more than just mock their videos. We need to flood their systems with so much absurd content that it overwhelms them. Make them question their own reality." Meanwhile, on Earth, the viral response was unlike anything humanity had ever witnessed. When the Zorveki's first video hit the internet, millions of humans began to watch, laugh, and discuss it in online forums. At first, it was taken lightly, just another alien misunderstanding. But then, something began to shift. People started creating their own versions of the video, mocking the Zorveki's parody, adding their own humorous twists. Soon, more alien species were involved in the memes, and humans started comparing Zorveki soldiers to even more outlandish creatures from pop culture. Some claimed the Zorveki looked like the characters from ancient cartoons. Others turned them into exaggerated versions of historical villains. The internet was ablaze with memes, hashtags, and viral posts. As the memes spread, an unexpected phenomenon took place. Humanity's bond strengthened. Every new video, every new meme that mocked the Zorveki brought the people of Earth together. They weren't just laughing at the aliens. They were uniting over their shared sense of humor and defiance. On Earth's most popular platform, TikTok, thousands of users posted clips reenacting scenes from the Zorveki video, but with a twist. They inserted themselves as the heroes, defeating the alien invaders with nothing more than a few household items and their creativity. Some even joked about how simple tools like duct tape or rubber bands could defeat such a powerful enemy. They were making fun of their own portrayal of military tactics, and in doing so, they were asserting their own power. "What do we do now?" Krelfar, who had been closely monitoring Earth's response, asked with a worried tone. Zorvok clenched his fist. "We make them understand the true strength of their culture. We need to outpace them, flood their feeds with more than they can process. We need to show them that we can play the game better than they ever could." Back on Earth, one particular video was beginning to gain traction in ways that no one could have predicted. It was a clip from an Earth-based meme artist who had combined the Gremlins parody with an old Zorveki video from their own military history. Except in this version, the Zorveki soldiers were portrayed as comic book villains who kept falling over and tripping over their own weapons. Humans had begun to manipulate the very images the Zorveki had used to try to intimidate them. It was a stunning turn of events. Zorvok's worst fear was coming true. Earth's creativity had turned into a weapon against his empire. "Commander, they're turning our own content into a joke," Zolthar said. "They're doing it faster than we can create new material. Some of their most influential meme creators have started comparing us to ancient cartoons and comedy sketches. We look like clowns." Zorvok slammed his fist on the armrest of his chair. "No, this cannot stand. We will not let them laugh at us. I refuse to be the butt of their jokes." But even as he raged, Zorvok couldn't help but feel a sense of unease. He knew he had underestimated Earth. Their ability to use humor as a weapon, to unite and create resistance from something as simple as a viral trend, was something the Zorveki had never prepared for. The stakes had shifted. This was no longer a battle of brute strength. It was a battle of ideas, of creativity, of humor. And Earth was winning. Zorvok knew the next move was crucial. The question was, how could he outwit a species that was proving to be faster, more adaptable, and more resourceful than anyone could have imagined? The battle of ideas. Zorvok paced back and forth in his command room, his mind racing with thoughts of how to regain control over the situation. The Zorveki Empire's vast fleet, which had once been a symbol of unstoppable power, now seemed irrelevant in a battle of wits and cultural influence. Their military might was unmatched across the stars. But the human mind, filled with creativity and unpredictability, had proven to be an even more formidable force. "We are losing ground," Zolthar, the communications officer, reported with a tone of concern. "Our efforts to flood their systems with videos and memes have only spurred them on. They're creating counter-memes faster than we can deploy. It's become a war of infinite content." Zorvok clenched his fists, furious. "I told you we should have acted faster. We are being consumed by their own absurdity. The more we try to force our way into their systems, the more they ridicule us. What are we doing wrong?" Krelfar, the political strategist, interjected, "Commander, it is not the content that we've been sending that's the problem. It's the approach. We've underestimated their resilience. We've been trying to out-absurd them, but they thrive on chaos and humor. It's their weapon, their armor. We can't match them at their own game." Zorvok stared at the view of Earth's surface on the holographic screen in front of him. The images were distorted by waves of social media data, posts, videos, memes, endlessly flowing across Earth's networks. He could almost feel the pulse of humanity's digital world growing stronger with each passing second. "Then what do you propose?" Zorvok growled, clearly agitated. Krelfar stood straight and calmly said, "Perhaps we need to shift tactics. Instead of trying to overpower them with humor, we need to fight fire with fire. Create content that sparks confusion and uncertainty within their own ranks. Make them question whether their own jokes are really jokes. Plant seeds of doubt." Zorvok's eyes narrowed. "You mean, create memes that cause distrust among them. Make them think they're losing control of their own narrative." "Exactly," Krelfar replied. "We need to plant confusion. If we can destabilize their trust in their own culture, if we can make them question what they believe, we might be able to shatter their unity." Zorvok paused, considering the idea. He had always been a master of strategy, but this was an entirely new approach, one that depended not on might, but on manipulating minds. "Begin immediately," he commanded. "Create memes that target their strongest emotions. Use their own culture against them. We'll twist their humor, make them question everything. If they can't trust their own laughter, they will falter." Meanwhile, on Earth, the war between the two civilizations had reached a fever pitch. New memes were flooding the digital world faster than ever before. Humans were creating viral videos at an astounding rate, each one more absurd than the last. But it wasn't just about humor anymore. It had evolved into something deeper. It was a way for humanity to assert its dominance over the invaders. The most popular meme, one that had spread like wildfire, showed a Zorveki soldier holding a weapon that was completely useless, an oversized rubber chicken. The caption read, "When the Zorveki try to invade Earth with an army, but all they have are rubber chickens. #defeated by humor." And then there were videos, Humans reenacting the Gremlins invasion scene, but replacing the alien soldiers with confused Zorvaki, stumbling over each other, getting caught in their own traps. Laughter filled the streets of Earth as people shared and joked about the alien misunderstanding. But now, a new kind of video was emerging. These weren't funny at all. They were unsettling. Zorvak's mind raced. This was not a war he had prepared for. He was a conqueror, not a fool. He had fought battles across countless star systems, and his empire had always triumphed. But this was unlike anything he had ever seen. How had he let Earth's chaotic creativity defeat him? "We must retaliate," Zorvak growled, his voice dark with rage. "We will send one final message, a message that shows our true power. We will create a meme so powerful, so terrifying, that it will destroy their resolve. A meme that will make them understand the consequences of defying the Zorveki Empire." Krelthur stepped forward, his face pale. "But Commander, the humans are unpredictable. Anything we create will only fuel their resistance. They will twist it. They will make it their own, turning our might into more ridicule. The more we try to control them, the more they push back." Zorvak's eyes gleamed with fury. He refused to accept defeat. "Then we will force them to understand. If they think they can laugh at us, they will learn what true fear is. Prepare the final strike. Send the message that no one dares to mock the Zorveki Empire." Back on Earth, the tide of the digital war was turning in unexpected ways. The memes that had once been a tool of resistance now became the symbol of a worldwide movement. Everywhere you looked, people were creating, sharing, and laughing. But even amidst the laughter, there was an undercurrent of fear. Humanity had fought back, but Zorvak was not a foe to be underestimated. The final strike was coming. People felt it. Then something strange happened. A new meme surfaced, an image of Zorvak himself, edited into a comical scene with the caption, "When you try to invade Earth but end up as the punchline." It was a masterpiece of irony, a blend of humor and terror that perfectly captured the situation. For the first time in weeks, the people of Earth began to feel a glimmer of hope. The Zorveki may have been powerful, but they were no match for the unpredictable, endless creativity of humanity. The humans didn't just defy the invaders, they had made them the laughingstock of the galaxy. But Zorvak wasn't done yet. He unleashed his final plan, a broadcast that would flood every communication channel across the galaxy. It would be a devastating image, a terrifying display of the Zorveki Empire's power, meant to remind the universe who was in control. As the broadcast began to unfold across the stars, a strange thing happened. The humans didn't cower. They laughed. And not just any laugh, a laugh of defiance. A laugh that said, "We will not be intimidated." The image of Zorvak, once feared as a conqueror, was now the subject of an endless cycle of memes. In a twist no one had expected, Zorvak's attempt to instill fear had only proven that humor had won the day. Earth's resilience, creativity, and humor had become the ultimate weapon. The invaders had underestimated the strength of the human spirit. And so, the Zorveki Empire retreated, not with the roar of battle, but with the silence of defeat. Their final desperate attempts to control the narrative had been swallowed by Earth's memes, and they were left with nothing but the echo of their own failure. Zorvak, once a feared commander, could only watch as his empire crumbled. The universe had learned a lesson that day: never underestimate the power of humor. And Earth, the home of chaos and creativity, had emerged victorious.